What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we will also preview the big Liverpool-Manchester City blockbuster Manchester showdown in the Premier League. So leave your predictions for the game down below. Who will win the game and what will be the scoreline? I predict a really hard-fought game where probably Man City will get in the lead and then Liverpool hopefully will come back, and I'm predicting a 1-1 draw. But Liverpool plan to spend a big. FSG are finally, it looks like, backing Jurgen Klopp. That's according to journalist Dean Jones, who are saying that FSG are planning to do something big in the transfer window, and if the right player is available, we could sign a big player even in the January transfer window. So what do you think? I think this is the bare minimum. FSG need to realize this Liverpool team needs a major overhaul. It needs a major cash injection, because after Jurgen Klopp's latest comments on Manchester City, actually Sky Sports looked into the net spend of Manchester City and Liverpool, and since 2016, so in the past 6 years, basically since Jurgen Klopp has been a full-time manager at Liverpool, Liverpool's net spend is £170 million. Manchester City's £480 million. That's like 3 times as much net spend as Liverpool. So that's what Liverpool are up against. That's what Liverpool are competing against. The next net spend 3 times the net spend of Liverpool. And Dean Jones said, I've heard that Liverpool intends to go big next summer if the right profile of player is there for them, even maybe in the January transfer window. It obviously makes sense given the start to the season they have had and the flaws that are starting to creep into the squad. And the big problem also for Liverpool is we have some major injury worries at the moment ahead of Manchester City. It looks like Konate is a massive doubt. He picked up a small muscle injury in the last game, so he could not, maybe he's not starting against Man City. And then the big question, who will play centre-back? Will it be Virgil van Dijk alongside Joe Gomez and James Milner at right back? Or will it Virgil van Dijk alongside Fabinho and Joe Gomez at right back? Or will it be Nat Phillips in centre-back alongside Van Dijk and Joe Gomez at right back? I'm not sure which one I prefer, because I want Fabinho and Thiago in midfield and maybe even Henderson there, so we can stop the Man City attacks. But I wouldn't start Henderson if I'm totally honest. I would start Thiago and Fabinho. I would start Darwin Núñez up front, Firmino in behind him, Salah on the right, Jota on the left, and also I would start Nat Phillips at centre-back and Joe Gomez at right-back, because there is no way I would want 36, 37-year-old James Milner to be coming up against Phil Foden and the other top Man City wingers. And the 2 biggest players that are talked about at the moment is Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. And it looks like FSG will free up some big transfer funds for Jurgen Klopp to spend. And I think that's an absolute minimum, because FSG haven't backed Jurgen Klopp enough. I mean, a net spend of 170 million in 6 years, that's simply not good enough. When Man City spent 3 times as much. But even Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham have a higher net spend than Liverpool in these 6 years. Even Aston Villa have a higher net spend than Liverpool. That can't be right with the revenues that Liverpool are bringing in. And also, Jurgen Klopp, in the Independent newspaper, there is a claim that he said, I wish that Pep Guardiola had taken a 4-year sabbatical. And let's see what actually Jurgen Klopp said. I would prefer Pep would do a sabbatical for 4 years, Jurgen Klopp said. Actually, my preference would have been to have had a sabbatical for the last 4 years. That's a joke, of course. I don't know how often I have to say it, but he's the best manager in the world, and he's proving that all the time, every day. It's special what they are doing, really special, and I respect that. It's fine, I have no problem with the situation. And also, Jurgen Klopp said about the relationship between him and Pep Guardiola. I'm not Roger Federer, and Pep is not Rafael Nadal. They compete on the highest level and they are best friends. Pep and I are not best friends because we don't know each other, but I respect him a lot and I know he respects what we are doing as well. For a rivalry, we don't need to be disrespectful. Around the games, we have a good relationship without meeting, and during the games, we are both competitors. So far, we did really well in cutting that out of all the stuff. I always could see the brilliance, or admit brilliance, when I saw it, and in this case, that's the case. Man City have the best team in the world, with the best striker in the world, so it will be the biggest challenge for Liverpool yet. And with a really makeshift defense, it's going to be a big struggle without Konate. I really thought that Konate could start in this game and basically get mark Haaland out of the game. That was my hope. But now if Konate doesn't start, I don't know how Liverpool are going to keep out Man City, especially with this incredible attack that they have. James Pearce revealed that Konate missed training on Friday due to a muscle bar problem, and he's undergoing further assessment. The issue is understood to be minor, but Liverpool will not take any chances with the player who only recently returned to action after 2 months out. So if there is any doubt about Konate's fitness, then Liverpool will not start him, definitely, because we need him in the long run. We have so many games still in October and November. And I really hope that Nat Phillips, if he starts, can handle the pressure of playing against the best team in England and also the best striker in the world, Erling Haaland. But that will be definitely a weakness, a weak point in Liverpool if Nat Phillips starts. And Liverpool's defense already hasn't been great. But Nat Phillips is a pretty decent player. If he's on it, then Liverpool will be alright in the defense. But he doesn't have the pace, and he doesn't have probably the football intelligence to mark Haaland out of the game. Konate would have had. I would have been more confident, a lot more confident, if Konate was fit and could start this game. And it will be very tough to keep out the Man City attack with De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Haaland, potentially either Grealish or Mahrez starting, Bernardo Silva. They have 5 or 6 players who are world class in the Man City attack. And yes, Liverpool also have some world class players, but the midfield and the defense have been a problem. And finally, please, Jurgen Klopp, start Fabinho with Thiago in the midfield and keep Henderson out of the team. How many times do I have to say this? Henderson is not good enough anymore. He's not playing well at all. He's so out of form. It's embarrassing. So please, Jurgen Klopp, don't start Henderson, because then I'm not sure if we have any hope against Man City. And Liverpool have a lengthy injury history still. Matip, Trent, Naby Keita, Luis Diaz, Curtis Jones, Arthur, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yes, Man City also have some injured players. They have Kyle Walker, Calvin Phillips and John Stones out injured. But they have such an amazing stacked squad that they hardly feel these kind of injuries. And also, Pep Guardiola only won once at Anfield before as a Man City manager, and that was in COVID season when there were no crowds in the stadium. So I really hope that the Liverpool crowd will be on it 100%, and they will create a fierce atmosphere, because the Man City players need to feel the cauldron of Anfield, and they need to feel under the pressure, under heat, because if they can play their comfortable game, then Liverpool have very little chance of getting something from this game. And this will be a big opportunity for Liverpool to put a marker down and say that the worst days are behind us and we are improving. If we could get a result, if we could even beat Manchester City, that would give Liverpool so much confidence. Virgil van Dijk said that we definitely want to prove that we are able to compete with the best teams, or one of the best teams at the moment in world football. Over the last 2 or 3 years, it's always been a game on its own for both times, for both sides. This is the most intense, one of the most intense games of the season, and I really hope that Liverpool will be on it defensively. And also I found an incredible statistic about Mohamed Salah showing that he's one of the best all-time Liverpool players, Liverpool strikers. Luis Suarez and Fernando Torres combined have scored less goals for Liverpool than Mo Salah, and in 8 fewer appearances Salah scored more than Torres and Suarez combined. Salah now has 164 goals in 267 games, Suarez 82 goals in 133 games, and Torres 81 goals in 142 games. So that shows that Salah is an absolute legend. Suarez and Torres are also legendary figures of Liverpool, but Salah is definitely up there with the best of the best, in my opinion. He just needs to win a few more trophies, I think, to be considered among the best Liverpool players to ever play for Liverpool. And Andy Robertson also revealed what Liverpool have been lacking this season. It's a massive game against Man City. We need to try and get consistency back into our game, into our performances. That's what we have been lacking this season. Obviously, a game against Man City will always be very difficult. They are flying this season, playing really well. It's difficult to play against, but us at our best can always compete with anyone. We have to be like that. If we are anything below that, it will be a difficult afternoon, but if we are at our best, then we know we can cause problems to any team, and that's what we have to aim for. So I'm really looking forward to the game. Come on Liverpool, let's beat Man City, and let's hope that we can kickstart our season finally and climb the table. I would be okay with a draw as well. So let me know what is your prediction, and thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.